this is pretty interesting because this is actually a pretty acrobatic CineWhoop or CineWhoops style quad. And what I mean by that is when you give it stick inputs, it responds pretty appropriately to what you would expect a regular quad with open props, you know, big props, whatever, to respond the same way. It just feels good in the air. Well, it doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel bad in the air. It doesn't feel as bad as all the other CineWhoops. But before I continue on, I want to point out that this is essentially the same exact quad as the Mobula HD. It's using all of the same components. The motors, while they may look like they have a different top of the motor, they are essentially the exact same motor. They look the same, they feel the same, they're the same color, they're the same KV, the same size. Everything is about the motor seems the same. It's using the same Crazybee F4 board, the V2, not the V2.1. It comes with exactly the same size battery. That's exactly the same size, shape, and weight. I'm pretty sure that URUAV is Happymodel. I wouldn't be surprised if Happymodel just has a bunch of brands. I wouldn't be surprised if Happymodel is RacerStar even. But yeah, so it is essentially the same exact quad except for the frame and the props. And you're watching me fly right now, and I was sort of unfair to the quad because first of all, when I took it out of the box, I knew it was going to be pretty acrobatic because the props are large and the spacing from the prop tip to the actual prop guard is much bigger than something like the Mobula HD or other whooped quads. And the actual prop guard is pretty skinny too, so it doesn't look like it'll obstruct all that much thrust coming off the side of the disc, and the motors at least won't feel like they're doing a whole lot of work trying to push against the side. So I flew it in this open area that I'm flying in, and this is sort of unfair because it's a really small quad. It does have prop guards, it does have really small motors. It's not really intended for such a wide open environment and the way I'm flying around. Also, to add insult to the injury that I caused, it's a pretty windy day. So all the shakes and bobbles that you see, that's purely because of the wind. If it wasn't windy, it would not be doing that. However, the jello is not from the wind. That is from the props or the motors or whatever that's happening. Now, like I pointed out, the props are quite a bit larger than the Mobula HD's props, and that's probably why it performs so much better. In addition to the fact that the prop guards, like I said, are thin, and the ends of the props are kind of far away from the prop guard itself, so it's not obstructing as much as other quads. And so where does it kind of fall flat on its face? And that's where the motor size comes in. So it is nice that it's using a larger prop, it's using a tri-blade prop, it's using a bullnose prop. However, it's a little bit too much for the motor, maybe, and the performance could be even better if the motor was a little bit bigger. But now I'm really just speculating and kind of changing the build entirely. Just talking about this quad itself, the shortcomings of the quad are essentially the frame. It is not the most durable frame. I kind of slapped the ground and the battery holder thing cracked. I wouldn't be surprised if the other things crack. The Crazybee board has a very high failure rate, unfortunately. It also has a very poor range with the built-in receiver. The newer versions of the Crazybee boards have an easier time binding in D8 mode, and other people have told me that it does have better range in D8 mode. I really haven't noticed better range. It's just pretty bad overall. The range is just not good. Don't expect it to be great. The one thing that I really do like about this a whole lot, aside from the flight performance and all that stuff, is the canopy on top. So this canopy on top mounts to the whoop style mount, yet it holds the 20x20 CADX board in there with the VTX on top. This is a really nice little mount. If they just sold this mount, it would be really great to plop on top of other quads that are whoop style mounts, and you could carry your CADX camera really nicely and really cleanly. That's the key, cleanly. It's a really clean mount. It's actually the cleanest execution of this kind of style. I have a bunch of them that I've made that just look like crap compared to this. So, you know, whoever made this, kudos to them. And yeah, that's about it. I still don't really recommend it because of the Crazybee board. Oh yeah, the all-up weight on this with the 3S battery is about 78 grams, which is really fantastic for the size of the prop and probably contributes heavily to how well it does perform when it does perform. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it. It's yet another toy whoop, and the shortcomings of the split or CADX camera or the turtlet cameras is still there. The field of view is not really great. The actual video quality out of the camera is not very good. The FPV feed is actually pretty good. I'm actually okay with it, except for the field of view. I'm really okay with the FPV feed. It's not all that compromised anymore. It actually looks totally fine. So yeah, these things will improve. They'll continue to get better. In my experience or in my testing, I found that you can't really get fantastic performance with the extra weight of the split camera without significantly more power. And if you add significantly more power, you need more battery, you're just increasing your all-up weight, and then your disc loading gets kind of crazy, and the actual acrobatic performance sort of goes out the window. So I've been testing all sorts of platforms with these HD cameras, but unfortunately the lack of the ability to actually fly acrobatics well with the camera due to the lacking vertical field of view is so restricting that it's sort of a no-go. I'm just going to wait for new things to get better. I know that there's the Tarsier or something coming out, Starlit or something coming out that'll do 4K. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, that's about it for now. Don't forget to floss your teeth, because flossing your teeth is always healthy. Bye-bye.